next speaker called Zarek. Zarek, sorry. He also shared me a joke, which I don't really get it. I'm so sorry, but I would like to ask the audience first, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay, so he said, what is Japanese favorite food? And the answer is mazak, right? Masaike.
Japanese famous.
So is there anyone get a point?
Oh, someone get a point.
Why?
Raise your hand if you get a point.
Never mind, I changed my topic.
So this will
Because when I first saw this joke, I feel very humorous. But since I delivered this joke to our TNE today, he cannot get a point. So I changed the other one. What's the difference between stress, tension, and panic? Stress is when your wife is pregnant. Tension is when your girlfriend is pregnant. Panic is when both of them are pregnant. Seems like this one is better.
Why are that's so hard?
So I can start my speech right now, right? Okay.
Okay, go.
Question. 1 and 100. Which one is bigger? If we talk about order, number 1 should be bigger. If we talk about amount, 100 should be bigger. It's quite interesting. You can interpret numbers in different perspectives and might have different answers. Number is number. It means nothing unless you give it a meaning, explaining what it is. Its value depends on what being used as measurement and comparison. Now, think about a presentation. If set through where people are adding up lots of figures on the screen, giving you percentage or data. All kinds of information might mean something important, but you can possibly understand it. Why? Because number is not only abstract, but also relative. In addition, human brain is not devoted for number processing, especially bigger number. For example, our sales revenue increased sharply by 5% this month. Sharply, 5% sounds great, but without comparison, does it mean something to you? Our turnover this year was $35 billion. What a big amount number, but again, does it mean something to you? As a speaker or spectator, you must have lots of experience dealing with numbers, no matter simply describe your age, family member, or even more complicated numbers like sales revenue or financial report. How do you present these numbers? Do you just throw them out to your audience without putting them into context? And expect your audience can understand these numbers immediately, which only you are familiar with. Or you think it's better to put that into context, making it meaningful and interesting, so that you create an association with your audience. So, how to put your numbers into context? Here are some secrets. First one, specify what the numbers are for. Most of you might have experience to buy hard disks in a computer shop. I always rent out capacity of my hard disk when I was in the university. Because too many movies I would like to store in my computer. So one day, I went to a computer shop, want to buy a new hard disk. However, there are so many kinds of hard disk with different capacity at different price. I totally had no idea how to settle on. So the salesperson there simply gave me two choices. Disk A has 250 gigabytes at the price of 2,000. Disk B has 500 gigabytes at 5,000. Yes, he did specify what the numbers are for, capacity and money. But I still cannot make my final decision because gigabyte is not relatable to me. So he further explained it. More gigabytes meant you can store more Love Asian movies. 500 gigabytes meant you can store more than 400 Love Asian movies in your computer, which also meant you can enjoy different movies every single night. Well, suddenly it meant nothing to me and drew me attention. Finally, I bought 500 gigabytes hard disk. The salesperson there did a decent job. He not only specified what the numbers are for, but also made it relevant to me, showing me exactly what I will get out of it. The same goes for numbers Steve Jobs presented in his presentation. When the first iPod launched, he said, "Our amazing device not only provide you high quality music, but also have 5 gigabytes memory, which means you can store 2,000 songs in your pocket." The most beautiful thing is that you can have enough songs in your pocket to listen to while traveling to moon and back. Wanna buy one? Maybe yes. He did not only mention the capacity of the iPad. Why? Because those numbers, no matter 5 gigabytes or 2,000 songs, are abstract to the audience. With his further explanation, traveling to moon and back, the number then means something to audience. The audience now can imagine numbers clearly. That's the power. No, that's the story behind the number. Besides making your number specific, but also make it relevant to your listeners, putting them into context like a short story. The most greatest presentation is so processed in listeners' mind. It's not how important of these numbers, it's how these numbers trigger you to think differently and start take actions accordingly. Presenting numbers in an attractive way could be enormously powerful, compressing larger amount of information into a format readily digestible by the human brain. It doesn't matter how skilled a speaker is or how mathematically the listeners are. Numbers only mean something when you deliver it by making it specific, relevant, and contextual. Thanks, Toastmaster.
Very good. Very